Hey, could I get 2 cheese donaires, please? So on my way to Jeff's here, sitting in traffic. I look to my left while I'm sitting here at this red light. What the heck is that? Fake ass store. McFrugal's? There's no way that's real. That is a store from a kid's movie.
First snow, so
that's crazy. All right, guys, I'm here at Jeff's house. You might remember Jeff from some of my other videos if you've been watching my shop talks and whatnot. And if you have, you should be following him. Or if you're local and you already met him, you are already following him, because why wouldn't you be? But anyway, in the shop talk, we talked about donaires, and a lot of people don't know what donaires are. But this is a donaire. It's like a...
Some people call them gyros, I think, in other parts of the world, don't they?
Yeah, but gyros are like Greek.
I mean, yeah, it's like a spin on that, I guess,
yeah,
right?
It's like a meat pita vegetable wrapped thing
With like a creamy sweet sauce.
and they're so good.
Amazing.
I put cheese. Hopefully you're not lactose.
Oh, I am not. Even if I was, I would go whole hog with the cheese too. Thank you.
You're welcome. All day.
Why didn't you tell me this was undone?
I mean, kind of liked the look.
All right, guys. I'm here with Jeff in his home and studio downstairs.
Studio is downstairs, yep.
But you guys gotta check out his house because it's got such a sick vibe. If you don't mind showing me around.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
All right, well, come on in. This is the living room here. We got some fun stuff in here. I guess I could start with my nice lamp that I have by Nataya. Literally by Nataya. She is like a world famous lamp maker. She does these tassels and she dyes them. So we have an old house and we wanted something that was kind of retro in that way.
Right.
I'm pretty nostalgic when I decorate my place. Well, not that I decorate a lot. It's mostly my wife.
my wife.
But I like to keep things like this. This is a over 100-year-old accordion that my grandpa he traded a horse for this Honer. So I
That's cool.
I like to keep things from like my heritage. So I've got some stuff for my grandpa and my grandma and just people that have come before me that I wouldn't be here without. Oh yeah, the little melodeon too.
Wait, what's a melodeon?
It's basically like you just blow into it. Like you can attach this thing and have more freedom, or you can like blow right into it and like.
What the heck? You just have the strangest instruments.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I actually used to use like this, the trumpet, keyboard at like a lot of my shows, like when I was playing in bands and stuff.
Yeah.
I'd use all of them. I was like a weird, like that weird guy in the band.
Yeah, people must have been like, dude, what is he playing?
But like it was kind of a hit.
Spoke to my friend the other day. Said he's hurting in the worst kind of way. I asked him why do you do to yourself. He said he's running, man, he's running from hell.
I was playing in like a hip hop band. We called it hip hop because it was like folky, kind of like acoustic instruments, but like hip hop beat and like kind of rapping and stuff.
Dude, do you have that music? Do you have like a catalog of it somewhere?
I don't even know. Do I have any of those like Mayday albums?
know that I cannot shake it. I've been knocking at your back to hope to get you naked. How would I find a reason for the feelings to be gone? Something too familiar that I've been a victim of it. The feeling's back, it's for sure. And I've been looking for a reason to come undone. Cause I'm an emotional masochist, TikTok fine. Dive it, baby, don't divide it, it's all mine. Cause you know that I'm starting to fire. And you're on my mind.
Anyway, that's this accordion.
That's cool.
I haven't touched this thing in a long time, I'll be honest.
Great success.
Obviously, have to have some Oilers gear.
We're not doing so good, but
Hey, the season's young. I'm a little worried because I got tickets to the Heritage Classic, and McDavid's probably not going to play. So
yeah, that's such a bummer.
Everyone else is going to have to really step it up.
Who will fall to 2-6-1. And the 4-game winless streak for the Oilers has ended here at Commonwealth Stadium.
You're probably gonna like this one, actually. Do you know Scott? Do you know Scotty Van?
I don't.
So you should check out Scotty Van.
That is
Van Descent.
fantastic.
He made this owl for us with the ring. So I proposed to my wife in Scotland, and I found a castle that had like an aviary, and they had some owls, and I lined it up so that an owl would fly the ring to her unknowingly, and that's how I
Really?
proposed. And so I wanted to like commemorate that for our anniversary, and a while back I just found Scotty on Instagram, and he's from Edmonton, and I asked him to put this piece together. I just said, like, it's a barn owl. I want it to hold a ring, but other than that, it's all kind of up to your creativity, and this is what he came up with. So
That's
I figured
awesome.
you would, you guys should connect, actually, because he's kind of in that same vein as you are with
Sure, yeah.
the metal sculpting and stuff like that.
That's dope.
Yeah. Little shout out to my last job, the wind turbine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like a bunch of Beatles stuff, Beatles books, other books from musicians. I love the music things, so
All right.
gotta have some of those. We got this moose here from Port Townsend, Washington, on our honeymoon. So yeah, that's Percival the moose. A lot of other knickknacks and books and stuff like that. Obviously, you have to have a Polaroid because those are so. And my son potty training there. Maybe don't show that one. But. A friend of ours wood burned, so that was also a gift for after our wedding and anniversary and stuff. So my friend Nichelle, Lauren's friend Nichelle, wood burned that, which is pretty amazing. So, and yeah, just a lot of memories and stuff, like our dog Bear and my great grandma. She gifted me her piano that she taught herself piano on, and then I gifted that to my neighbors across the street who have kids that are taking piano lessons and stuff. But yeah, I guess
So you obviously play piano.
well, there's like Chopin. That kind of stuff, or there's
Dang, you're good.
Ben Folds. Imagine, right?
That's one of my favorite songs.
Me too, man. Yeah, and that'll play in later in the video because I got something downstairs that applies directly to that song. So.
Okay. That's a cool piece.
Yeah, that's this artist Thankyou. I think he's from Portland, but I got this one because it reminded me of I can't remember if I told you or not. When I was in Panama, there was a sloth crossing the highway.
Yes,
did I
you
tell
did.
You about that? Okay,
yeah.
So I saw this and I was like, oh my god, it's the revenge of the sloth. Like this sloth almost got crushed by the semi, and now he's the one basically taking charge of the road. So I got that from this artist Thankyou. I think he's out of Portland or something like that. But he does like really cool murals and really funky kind of paintings and stuff like that. So I saw that and just had to have it. So
that's great.
Yeah, I think he did this one above her bed too. Yeah, that's also a Thankyou. But yeah, he's got cool style. I think
Yeah, it is.
The ginger listening to music with the jackalope up top and the two dogs and stuff. So
yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, man. The old dining room here.
This is where we just were with another painting.
The donors. Yeah, this is Igor Postash. The first time I went to the White Ave Art Walk was 2011, and I came across Igor's booth or tent, and it just like blew me away. I love the Beatles, and I saw this, and I just bought this house, and I was like, okay, I need artwork for the walls, and I just have to have this. And then I ran into him again for the first time when I was selling my artwork at the Bonnie Doon Art Walk.
Yeah.
And he was also there. And I went up to him. I'm like, I don't know if you remember me or not, but I bought this Beatles piece that you had, and I loaded it up into my white 97 Lincoln Town Car. And he was like, I totally remember you. Like, you were my first, like, real sale, big sale.
Oh,
he was
nice.
selling prints and stuff like that, but he hadn't sold an original of this size before. And I was the first one, and so he, like, he gave me a big hug, and, like, I was just so happy to actually see him again, because I didn't know, if I'd ever see him again, just with the way the world works. But,
Sure.
I love it with the lyrics to, multiple Beatles songs, and John here's got the accordion, so
Right.
that one kind of spoke to me, because I have an accordion kind of similar to this one as well. So,
Sure.
but yeah, love the Beatles, and had to get that one, so
That's awesome.
yeah.
I noticed when we were eating, you got. I love things like this. They're like just subtle little embellishments or details that you put around. For those of you who are Friends fans, you'll totally recognize this from Monica and Rachel's apartment.
Yeah.
I saw what you were doing to my sister. Now get out here.
I would totally put that in my shop as well.
Oh, okay. I love your shop too. It's.
Oh, thank you.
I love places where everywhere you look, there's something. There's a story behind it, or it's from a show you like, or whatever it may be, right? So
yeah.
I mean, you can see the baby room. I don't know if you wanna put any of this in there. I mean, it's a baby room. You've got a sloth as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the theme of your guys'.
I mean, like, after seeing that sloth on the highway, I was a fan.
Yeah?
I liked sloths before, but they won me over when I saw them that day, so had to get them a sloth. And I mean, we got that was from my brother.
What is that? It is your birthday period.
Statement of fact.
Not even an exclamation point?
This is more professional. It's not like she discovered a cure for cancer.
I can't believe how bad this looks.
Exactly.
Oh, you got some. Oh
yeah, Jeffrey Decker. Yeah, that's right. He was one of my faves. I believe he's known as the Upper Decker now. He's doing mostly potty work. But yeah, the poo touching out, reaching out to the toilet paper. David meets God, or whatever it is. Like
Creation of Adam, I believe.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sistine Chapel. Yeah, I should probably brush up on my 16th century artists. Yeah, I mean, got some. We had some dogs before, and this is. Gus is our dog now, but Bear and Benny were our two dogs that we had before him. And there's another Jeffrey Decker. The Banana Brothers here.
Yeah, I got that one as well.
Oh yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah, This is actually the same person who did the wood burnt owl thing above the piano, so she's quite creative as well. She painted our pooches there, and yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's, I don't know, pretty much it.
This is the kitchen. You even got some art in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not everyone does that.
Totally my jam. Those are, that's what I'm kind of known as, so Lauren had to get that one.
Oh yeah, okay.
My buddy John gifted me an AGD for my birthday, which I gave back to him for Christmas, which he gave back to me for my birthday again, I think, or something. So just handing that back and forth. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the main floor. We can head downstairs if you want.
Sure, into the studio.
Into the studio.
You got a nice house.
Thanks, dude. It's a work in progress, but what house isn't?
Oh, yeah. You haven't been in my house, but it is definitely a work in progress. Very slow work in progress.
Yeah, it always is.
I love this piece.
I put this one out because I knew you loved it, and it's also these are the only two pieces that I actually have in my house right now. So,
is this the 6-year piece?
This is the 6-year piece. Yeah. So when I played Imagine, this is why, because this is the one that really kicked it off. So I just thought I could show you, kind of compare how my style has changed from, I started this one back in 2007 or 2008 or something like that, and that's the one that took 6 years. And I'm not gonna sell it because it's just
no, that's a part of your as I always say, your ness.
Yeah.
It's part of your ness.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the one that kicked it all off. I'm pretty sure every single bottle cap on there was saved when I was bartending.
Oh yeah,
every last one of them. A lot of these ones were too, but this one for sure was just all the caps that I saved while I was bartending.
Okay. Yeah. And your technique in this one, this is when you were, cutting your teeth, right? Figuring out how to affix everything and how to place them. Because I know on the shop talk, you were talking about how you place them a little more methodically now.
Yeah.
Like you're more careful with how they're placed.
Yes.
Whereas I guess at first you didn't know.
I didn't know. You can kind of see where I sort of figured that out. Like before, I will never layer them like a whole one on top. Every single one will kind of be tucked into 2 or 3 that come before it,
like a scale sort of idea.
Yeah, exactly. So here, a lot of them are they almost curl up like a Pringles chip or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It does still have a cool look, I guess, but I prefer it to be more
still works
methodical and neat, such as this one over here. But yeah, you can see where these ones, they're coming down, this way, and then these ones are coming up this way, so the light sort of bounces off. I even experimented, I stole my mom's nail polish because I was like, I don't know if these are going to be red enough, so I put a little bit of clear red over top of these buds, and then I was like, I should just not modify them at all. I shouldn't paint them or anything because they're already cool colors. So I'll just trust the colors will pop the way they should.
Sure. And because people will forgive something that's not, I don't know if perfect would be the right word, but they'll forgive it based off of the material you use or the method you use, different things like that. And I think having, not that it looks bad, I wouldn't have even known that it was nail polish, but I think it already works. So I think it's good to not, if you chose not to.
Yeah.
It's fine that you did. But here, you didn't modify anything except for cutting where you needed to cut.
Yeah, just cutting where I needed. That was basically it. So all the caps are their original colors, and the way they are layered is much more methodical. And the eye, when you're looking at John's eyes, he almost looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger with the laser eyes or something.
Oh,
like
the
that.
red
So
there.
But I put London Pride in there because it's a British cap, and
sure,
and he's British, right? So I thought that was kind of cool. But nowadays, I try and get that glimmer in the eye. I try and get color. I really try and focus on
with the white,
some more lifelike features of eyes, because it's mostly about the eyes. You can kind of mess up some other features and get away with it.
Yeah. Standing back, of course, obviously, it's easier to see the whole picture as you stand back. Having that little speck of white, it really brings it alive. And maybe with the red, I can see what you mean. It's just kind of like too bloodshot. I mean, he did partake. You know, so I mean,
let's just say he was blood. Yeah, he had bloodshot eyes for some reason.
They both look great, honestly. But this one does, and I'm not saying just because I'm a big fan of Nirvana, but this one does look better. It has a more refined touch to it. Yeah. Whereas this one, it looks fantastic. This would be better than what I would do. I'm almost certain. But it's just not as good.
Someone told me, a good friend of mine told me when he looks at this first one and then he looks at the stuff that I do today, it's almost like standard definition, and now I'm like, high definition or whatever. What is it now? Like, it's not even.
Well,
HD.
it's like 8K now.
8K, yeah. So I don't know if I'm at 8K, but SD to HD, and I kind of like that because this one's you're just a little more fuzzy, and this one's a little bit more crisp and clear.
The detail comes through a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
They both look great. Having this one on the wall, no one's gonna be like, that's dumb.
Someone out there will.
Someone who doesn't have a taste in art might do that.
Yeah.
Someone who hangs posters on the wall.
Yeah. Potentially. Yeah. Whatever.
Not that there's anything wrong with holding posters.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But there, you know who I'm talking about.
I do. I even hit my hat there. You should just. Yeah, there we go. This is the height of my studio. It sucks. I wish I was shorter. Anyway, I'll show you the studio as well. This is kind of where all the magic actually happens, like the creation. Well, the flattening and everything happens here. This is the press.
Okay.
I had my dad and his machinist friend basically kind of came up with this, and instead of me just using the mallet over and over and trying to smash them down. So I can show you how that works. Put 8 or 10 more kind of thing. I'll just do a couple here. And the foot pedal controls the plate to go up and down. I'll put the headphones on and just listen to music. And then this is just my workbench on wheels, where sometimes, I like to switch it up, and I'll usually put the piece on top of the workbench and just put it against the wall, or use a couple easels when I'm working on a piece. But when I have a bunch of caps flattened and I need to sort, I just kind of pull everything out and just throw on the headphones and just sort away, basically, so you can kind of get an idea of all the colors that I'm working with here.
Just hundreds of caps.
Oh, thousands for sure. Yeah. I don't know how many would be right here. If I had to guess, probably 30,000 caps in just this area. It adds up fast. It's kind of...
Dang. Right, well, they are small. So if you go like this, like I'm holding a lot.
That's probably 100 in a handful or something.
Yeah. Dang. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you sort them not just by color, but by brand too?
Yeah, sometimes. When I have a lot of... this is my sort of random whites. And so I do have some of these Canadians in there, but, because they have the maple leaf on them, they sort of have a different look. I'll kind of get a little darker than something like this.
Yeah.
Or, even this is, a little bit more beige than it is white. So if I know I have a lot of one cap, then I will separate them out. But I like to mix them all, just because that random look within the piece is appealing more so than just having an entire section of Canadian or an entire section of Labatt blue or something like that. Right?
So you have obviously the bins, then you got some in bags. Are some of the ones that are in bags, or have these been sorted a long time ago? Have you changed your process here?
I'm kind of changing as I go a bit, but the bag ones, so I have a ton of red. A lot of people drink Budweiser.
Yeah.
So I have a ton of red. when I come across cool ones, like, you know, this Lagunitas that has the dog on it, like, that's kind of cool. So I like to save those for...
Oh, so you got special reds.
These are like the special reds. Like this, there's Machu Picchu is on this cap right here.
Oh,
so if I have a client that I get to know and they have this affinity for Peru or something, I'll keep that in mind and I know it's in there.
Okay.
And, this is actually one of the caps that we shared.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
on the first shop talk that we did.
First shop talk, yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm probably gonna refine it so that I just have containers on a wall so that I can just pull them out.
Right.
Kind of like a wall of, you know, a lot of people have like different types of screws and nails and hardware. So I want to do that eventually, but you know, one thing at a time.
That would be cool. Would you do like you know, like you'd label by putting on a...
Yeah, I think so. I would probably put one on the edge.
Okay.
This is from days of old. But yeah, those are like kind of the overflow of like the flattened ones that come in larger quantities, the reds and the silvers and a lot of Corona and stuff like that too. So
okay, I noticed that there's absolutely no liquor smell, so it doesn't. No. Like some people, I imagine, might suspect that it would stink, but
people wonder if it smells like a bottle.
Yeah,
yeah,
which it does not at all.
If I can, I will wash them if they look like they've you know, and they got some, you know.
And how do you do that? In the dishwasher?
Just
sink?
In the sink if it's wintertime, or outside. I'll put them in a bucket and like really rinse them out really good and then let them dry just on some landscaping fabric outside in the sun. It seems to do the trick. But yeah, smell, which is kind of nice. Yeah.
Do you mind showing that piece there?
This one over here?
Yeah. Is that a work in progress or a finished piece?
It's one that I did, and we had it hanging, but then so it's my dog Bear. I hadn't
that's fantastic.
I hadn't made a dog piece at the time, and so this was experimental.
I like it.
And we did have it hanging up at one point, but we've just been kind of rearranging and redecorating and stuff, so I put it back there just for safety for now. I also used it as a test to spray some archival varnish, 2 different types.
Okay.
So I think this side is more matte and then this side is more glossy.
Okay.
Just to see how it would affect the bottle caps before, you know, actually putting it on clients' pieces.
Are you finding that you need to do a finish?
I do for safety when it comes to clients, especially in like humid locations. Like if I have a client in Florida or California or something like that, then I will offer it. It's just an extra level of protection, but I mean, the John Lennon piece is, I guess, like 15, 16 years old now, and it doesn't have any protection on it at all, and it's held up pretty good.
Doesn't look like any fading or anything in there?
Maybe a tiny bit, but like it's held up pretty good. So I think if I do, when I talk to the clients, if they know it's going to be hanging in like a sunny location or humid, I'll offer that just as an extra, just to be a little bit safer.
People may not understand that like your pieces they can be considered investments. They're quite valuable. And to have something like fade away would be such a bummer. So to put the varnish on there probably is a good idea, because to spend $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 on something and then you're just like, wait, didn't this used to? I feel like this used to be right? Like
that could be bad news. Yeah, I wouldn't want that to happen.
Yeah,
to burn out than to fade away, I guess.
Right? Sure. Yeah, no, it looks good. I like this piece.
Yeah, we'll probably hang it up again.
It almost looks like advertising of something. I don't know what, but it looks like some sort of advertisement.
Maybe if I don't if we don't have the space to hang it up in the house, I'll auction it off for a rescue, like a dog rescue or something.
It looks awesome. I do like it.
Yeah, that's Bear. And then I do have some corks, but all the corks right now are stored in the garage, and I do have actually more bottle caps in the garage, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Probably like this times 2 in the garage as well. So it is
dang, you got lots.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I need to just start making like tons more art
or something.
Do the Andy Warhol route and like hire people to make it, just come up with the design and like teach them how to do it or something, maybe. I don't know.
Would you actually do that as a There's a lot of people who are against that because they're like, the artist should create the art, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's artists out there, like you say, Andy Warhol. Today, there's Damien Hirst, who doesn't create almost anything, and everything he does seems to be, and all the stuff created by other people is really high quality.
Yeah.
And so people are like, it's a, how would you say that? There's a love-hate sort of thing when it comes to artists like that. Myself, I think that there's a place for assistants, and then there's a place for the artist to do the art.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you think of it in those terms, it's kind of where art meets business and business sort of takes over. So if you don't really mind being a business person who created art in the first place, then go for it, because I think there's just like a ton of potential there. And in my case specifically, there is a ridiculous amount of bottle caps that are produced and just thrown away everywhere. Like, if we were just to save the bottle caps from just our city of 1 million people in a year, like, it would blow your mind how, like, one of these, I talked to a bartender recently, and she works at this bar on the south side, just not even like a crazy busy bar, just a standard size bar. And she gave me a couple of these after like a few, like over the summer. And I'm like, this is, 10 gallons of bottle caps.
And they probably threw a bunch out too.
And they probably threw a bunch out before too. So like the amount of material that there is to work with, I could see myself, if I was potentially a better businessman, entrepreneur, set it up where you make relationships in different cities all over and set up artists in each city, and they can collect caps from all the bars from their city, and just turn it into a network like that. Because the artwork does look cool, and people, I could teach people how to do it. So
you don't necessarily own the idea. I mean,
anyone can do it.
There's
I'm not stopping anyone from trying bottle caps.
I'm probably correct in saying that there's few bottle cap artists. Yeah. But it's not like you're the well, to me, you're the bottle cap artist, because I don't know. But, like, again, I'm a finger painter, but there are other finger painters. And there's probably other better finger painters than me, and I don't care at all. I think it's cool when someone's like, oh, another finger painter, and they're talking about me. And I'm like, no, you're the other finger painter. But, I mean, people will let us know in the comments what they think about that. I don't know if you'd call it a method of creating art. To me, there could be the jam umbrella, and that's you, and then under the umbrella you have your assistants or your artists or just your friends, whatever, however you want to label them, and you've created a path for people to succeed in an artistic venture.
Yeah, I mean,
because it is cool as heck.
Thank you. Yeah, and I mean, someone always has to be the first to try something, and then if someone, it's like, what was it, the 4-minute mile or something, like, it couldn't be broken forever. Right. And then who was it like Prefontaine or something like that? I don't know. I'm not the best.
Someone famous who I don't know.
Someone famous broke the 4-minute barrier, and then suddenly, like, everyone.
It's very common.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it happens all the time with things. Like, it needs to be proven that something can be done, and then people will just start to do it. And so I think this could be one of those potentials where it's like, okay, maybe I was, and I don't even know if I was, and I know I wasn't the first bottle cap artist, but I've created my own style, and I could definitely like teach people how to reproduce that or whatever under this umbrella or something like that. But
I don't think
there's a lot of potential there.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. It's because you're still like, something's still being created.
Yeah.
And like me making cutting boards and stuff, I have people helping me all the time. People like that they can buy something from me because they like me, but also I can't make everything all the time because I'm one person, and so same thing goes for art. Like, it looks awesome. It is not a mass produced sort of thing, even if you have a bunch of people doing it, because it's still like, no machine is making it.
No.
I mean, you use machines to make it in a sense. You use tools, yeah.
Tools and I guess a machine, yeah. To flatten and stuff.
But it still crafts people, if you want to call it. It's still artists creating it.
Definitely a craft. Yeah.
It's not like although I don't know how places like HomeSense and Walmart and places like that have their art. I mean, I'm sure someone has to make it, but you're not that, and you wouldn't become that. I'm sure. It
would have to be a huge volume to be able to, appease those types of contracts. Like if you were to sell in a place like IKEA or HomeSense. Or
can you imagine like just getting something like that? Oh, it's $35. Like it just.
If I could get it down to that price, like with just time and materials. I mean, the material is pretty cheap. Bottle caps are free essentially, so that one isn't a problem. But yeah, just the time.
But crushing them all,
yeah,
cleaning them all if they need to be cleaned, all the whole process. What would you say the process is just getting to this point, to this pail of or container of lids?
One piece usually takes like 3,000 or 4,000 bottle caps. Right there, just flattening, that would be like 2 or 3 hours kind of thing, just flattening, and then sorting probably about the same. So right there, you're talking like 5-6 hours to flatten and sort.
Right.
The drying and collecting and process and all that stuff is another couple hours. And then when I'm designing, the design usually takes like a good day. I'll take the photograph and do my thing. Yeah, so we're looking, even before the first cap is being put in, like a good 10 hours of work just to like prep everything.
Yeah.
I can't just go to the store and buy paint, I have to process it in a way to get it ready to be assembled, right? So when I'm clipping along, I think I did the math and I can flatten like 1,500 bottle caps an hour with that machine.
Dang, okay.
So, yeah, not bad there. And then,
when you're doing this part, like you're not making any money yet.
No.
You're just
I know. It seems crazy when you put it that way, but
like no one's paying you to spend all that time. And if no one happens to like a piece, like right here you got an Alice Cooper coming up. I'm assuming that's a commission.
It is, yeah.
But let's say that's just a piece that you felt like making. If no one likes Alice Cooper anymore, then you just wasted 6 hours to sort all those 6 hours of flattening all this stuff, and then once you're putting the first one on there, it don't even matter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Kurt Cobain, that wasn't a commission. And that one's still for sale too. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy that. Okay. I think okay. I can't afford it right now, honestly.
I do payment plans.
But I need it. My brother also big fan.
Maybe this is why it hasn't sold yet, because it knows it's supposed to go to you.
I think that must be it. Me and my brother have this show called Just Joshing with Jakota.
Yes.
It's meant to be a talk show, sort of thing, and our set studio thing doesn't exist.
Okay.
So when it does, I think we're gonna make space
for that.
Okay. And it won't necessarily be on camera, but it's gonna be there and it's gonna be dope.
Great.
Because the space has. Anyway, I really want it. So I wanted it since I saw it. So and that would have been at the White Avenue Art Walk, I believe.
I think was that.
Oh no! It would have been at the Bonnie Doon Art Walk.
Yeah, I brought it to Bonnie Doon. Yeah, that was the first time it was ever shown. In person to anybody. So that was the first time you saw it.
Yeah,
and it hasn't sold, and it's probably my most popular one on social media.
Is it?
Anytime I share anything about it, it just like goes crazy, and people love it, and I've had a couple bites, but no real. So it's probably your energy that you're putting out there. It's locking everyone.
Yeah, just F off everybody. That's mine.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so walk me through if you don't mind. I see you got your tool rack here.
Yes. There and there. Yeah, a little bit.
For some reason, you went with Ryobi. I don't know why, but
well, they're cheap, and I'm not like a heavy duty kind of guy. If I was building like a lot of stuff with woodworking and all that stuff, I would probably go with like DeWalt or something.
DeWalt or Milwaukee or something.
Probably, but like I'm literally just like sometimes screwing in mounts on the back of a piece.
Sure. You just need an electric screwdriver.
Yeah, exactly. It's you know, I'm not fancy, so I'll connect this bad boy over here. To do that, it would be murder. Like, I just can't believe anyone would ever tell me to do something like that. So that's that story.
I recognize these.
Yeah, I sorted them out into different sizes, and I'm going to experiment with how to, you know, sign my signature on there and potentially work them into the pieces as my signature. So, yeah, once I flatten, then just sorting them, I'll usually just plunk myself down over in front of the pile there and sort away, and it's it's legit just like chill time. Oh, hey.
Dude, can't lose that. You might run out.
Right? Yeah, especially Budweiser. Yeah. So, yeah, I just kind of like sit down and I'll take like a good 20-30 at a time and just sort away like that. And well, this would be in a different spot here, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll do this for like a few hours at a time and just kind of kill time. Just sort away.
Listen to wait, did you say what tunes you're listening to?
It depends. I usually I'm gonna listen to a bunch of Alice Cooper because I haven't really like dove into his earlier work or
everyone knows just one song.
Everyone, I mean, like, I know a handful, like The School's Out for the Sun.
Everyone knows that, right?
18. There's a handful of other ones that were like kind of, you know, hits on the radio and stuff like that. But and music being like a big part of my life, I just think, you know, it just fits in with my loves of my life. Just like art, music, it just works together. And if I can create something cool that other people really like to enjoy as well, and it brings them, you know, memories, like there's, you know, I really like just the depth that you can get with art in general. You know, people will see the same piece and have very different emotions or memories from it. So if you can do that and affect people in a really cool way, like, I don't know, I think that's a really cool thing. So agreed.
Yeah. Is there anything else in your process once you've come to here? Is there like some sort of weird, like, oh, and then I also kiss each one or something? That...
No, I definitely don't put them in my mouth or near it. I mean, I could, if you want, I could show you kind of a little bit of how I would actually like put it together. Yeah, I haven't started this one yet, but if you give me a minute, I can maybe just get it set up and then I can kind of show you just how I would. That would
be fantastic. I would love to create one of these types of murals or mosaics. You have well, maybe it's intentional. I don't know. You've unintentionally inspired me to try a new medium. It's definitely not going to become something that I do regularly because the discipline it takes to do this sort of thing requires patience. And if you watch my channel at all, I don't have a lot of patience. But to create one every once in a while would be super cool.
You should, man.
So I think it would be awesome if you're down to teach me one day. I'll try to gather my own bottle caps so I'm not wasting your inventory here.
Buddy, I got more than enough to share, so I got you there, man. I got you there.
I'll try to gather one or two of my own, just because I appreciate the amount of work that goes into, you know, getting to this stage, right? Like just having, you said 30,000 caps here. That's a lot.
Approximately, like that's a ballpark, but yeah, like if you had 100 in your hand right here, times 300, yeah, that would probably be about 30,000. So something like that. Maybe a couple 100,000 more over there. So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll try to. I think it'll be a fun learning experience. Like I'll have the benefit of you, where you had the benefit of time.
Yeah.
And frustration.
Yeah. Those were all the
perseverance.
Yeah.
I'll have the benefit of you showing me kind of like how it goes, and of course you're going to show everyone here in a second as well. So do you have a table saw, or how are you processing your panels?
I don't have a table saw. No, I'll usually just get them cut at Home Depot to like standard sizes, like at 3 feet by 4 feet, or just squares of 4 feet by 4 feet. And then I just have like a circular saw that I'll make adjustments if it needs to be a bit smaller or something. So this is the design, and this is what I showed to the client basically. So they have this music room in their house.
Wow, they got a lot of old nice couch.
I know, right? That couch is unreal. So they live in Detroit, which is where he was based. I
actually did not know that.
Yeah, I think he moved there at some point in his life. I don't know if he was born there, but I think he was basically from Detroit as much as you can be.
Okay.
So they sent me photos of their living room or their music room that is going in, and sort of the colors that they have and stuff. So I basically took this black and white photo and like I said, took the contrast out, really like highlighted. I made sure his makeup would really stand out, and then I would paint basically from the darkest points of his face would be red, and then I'll use those kind of Alexander Keith's like bronzy look.
Sure.
Because they have a lot of sepia tone, and I wanted to have that sort of like pop art look, but also have it fit in with like a sepia tone type feel. So it's kind of where pop art meets like classic black and white photographs.
I like your madness and your method there.
Yeah,
that's a good way to do it. When people ask me to paint something or make something, I'm like, cool, I will.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Sometimes that's what I get too, and they're just like, do whatever you want. Like I made this Marilyn Monroe piece, and I was like, do you mind if I get a little bit more adventurous? So I had this streak of black and white across her face, and it was like a spotlight.
Oh, that was a great piece.
Thanks.
I saw that. Yeah,
Thank you.
Fantastic.
So that one, he was just like, I love Marilyn Monroe, just make it happen. And I asked him, can I get a bit more creative? And he was like, yeah, absolutely, like have at her. So that was what I decided there. But these clients wanted to be a bit more involved. Like I think she's like a marketing director for Ford or something. Like she works, it's Motor City, right? So they're big into the vehicles there, but she's like into marketing and stuff. So she wanted to be a little bit more involved. So
yeah, I
had a meeting with her, and
nothing wrong with that,
and showed her that. And so kind of just like, the main colors of their living room, how they sort of tie in to the piece itself. And so they were pretty stoked with that. And so that's what I used as my design layout. And
fantastic.
Off of. So
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I'll show you how I slam them in.
Yet another Beatles poster.
Yeah. This was our like baby storage room that we're turning into the office, so that we can keep the door closed. And then I'm gonna put all of my music stuff in there, so that I can eventually like kind of compose background music for videos when I eventually get into more long form YouTube stuff.
Sure.
And then this room is gonna be my my collage room, because I think I was telling you about the collage thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we'll touch on that before we finish today.
Sure.
Because I'll show you some of the cool stuff that I have up there.
Sure.
But as far as getting a piece started, I always start around the edges, and then I'll fold them over with basically kind of hammer them over. So just like that, and then just kind of keep going around the edge.
And then so you're immediately lapping everything.
So like I see that orange is coming up next. So I'm going to basically like kind of go from a yellow to an orange, so that when it is flat, like fold it over.
And if you could somehow know that this was going to be a piece, would you, if you happen to have an orange and yellow cap, would that be the one you use?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But there's different tones of orange too. So like I might go, like if you can see these kokanees, and then these are like a blank, like almost like a Alexander Keith's cap.
Okay.
That like it's the same kind of color almost, so it's a bronze. So like, if I'm blending, I'll go from this orange to this kind of bronze to this sort of dark beige, so that sort of blends in. So that's kind of like my thought process when I am blending in my colors, and yeah, basically just kind of going from there. And yeah, if I do come across a cap that has multiple colors, it's not very often, but yeah, I have used them in spots like that. So I'll just kind of like mix them in, and the pieces are large enough that if I mix this type of light orange with these kind of bronzy caps, then you get a different tone altogether. It's more like a skin tone type color. So I'll just kind of mix some of those in there. And then when I am ready to like hammer them down, I'll do the entire edge, and then I just hammer them down this way.
Okay.
And then once that's all done, like you can kind of see, like, you know, this is the lightest yellow, this is a bit darker, this is a bit darker than that,
right,
and this is a bit darker, and I'll continue that way.
Right.
Because that's like the edge of his arm. And then that's basically the gradient that I'm looking for. So a little sneak peek. And then once the whole edge is done, then I'll start like working my way up. And I'll, just because I hold my needle nose pliers in my left hand and then the nail gun in my right, I'll work my way from the bottom right across and then up that way.
So you don't necessarily do a full shape because you have...
Sometimes I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Like because his knuckles are going like this on his chin,
yeah,
I will likely do the entire spot to like the right of his hand, and then I'll overlap the hand so that's over top of it, because it's like further out, you know, in perspective.
And even though it's literally like, what is that? Not even a millimeter.
Tops, yeah.
So like, even though it's enough to show depth.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would just have it like this instead of this.
Right.
Because that is on top.
Right. Lots of information in that tiny little...
Yeah. And yeah, so there's key parts along the whole face where I'll apply the same kind of method, and that's sort of how I go about it. And then the hair too, I'll do a lot of caps cut in half for the hair, because you can just get more detail, and he has very messy hair in this photo, just like Kurt Cobain there. Like you can see I've cut a lot of them in half.
And me.
And you, yeah. When I do a mosaic of you, I will have to capture
Which of course you will, because I'll be one of the greats.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as I'm done with Alice, then it's Josh after that, so... Yeah. But so I brought up the collage thing.
Yeah.
And so this is where my artwork starts to branch off, and I have sort of, like you do a lot of things with metalworking and stuff, but then you also have finger painting and you know, your woodworking and stuff. So this is kind of where I branch off as well. So.
And I'm sure people who haven't watched our interviews previous or who don't know you as well as maybe I do. Not that I know you a lot. But
enough by now, though.
Yeah, I do. But I imagine people might be asking, hey, you do this. This is very niche. What other types of art do you do? And this is different, but also it's pretty niche, which I think is a lot of fun.
This is what I'm about to start. This is a new, I'm embarking on a new, a totally new venture, but I've become very lucky in that a gentleman who is a collector of all things American history, manuscripts, like copies of the Declaration of Independence, photos of Lincoln, and newspapers from hundreds of years ago. He got a piece for me, and then we got to talking, and he says, I have all of these old materials that are basically kind of like worthless to me because I'm only dealing with originals of whatever it may be that are worth, tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I have all these things at my disposal that I don't think I'm ever going to actually use, but they are authentic. And if I give you a bunch, can you make art out of them? And I said, yeah, even though I don't know if I can, but I'm going to give it a college try here.
Right.
So, for example, there's these...
Obviously a lot of newspaper.
A lot of newspapers. There are photographs in here. This is, this is legit.
I would...
Leslie's illustrated newspaper from New York, 1865.
I would love to find this in a house. I love when I find old advertisement, newspaper clippings and stuff. I was working on this one old house, not super old, but like 100 years old.
Okay.
And we were taking, things apart to change things. This house was deemed a tear down, but we rescued it.
Oh, nice.
So there was extensive repair that we had to do. Anyway, a lot of the insulation was newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
And so I pulled it out and then I framed some of it some of the damaged casings and baseboards from the house.
Nice.
And then we put it in there for staging.
So when I read the paper, what I like to read is the New York Caucasian.
Oh my God!
What? America? What were you doing back then? I thought New York was supposed to be a little bit more liberal than that. So anyway, this might be like a designed for Caucasian people only, but I mean it's 1863, so the social landscape was a little different.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There's like these random, like I don't even know what these are. They're almost like stamps in a way. There's these. This looks like, I don't know if they have, like, I'm not sure.
It's like almost
dated 1865, but it looks like just normal lined paper.
It's like loose leaf almost.
Yeah, general order. Like
What the heck?
I don't like this. This one seemed a little off to me, but like he could probably explain.
Is it photocopied onto that maybe? But no, it's right on the line.
I know
so.
it's right on there, and like I don't know if they had this type of paper back in 1865, but like if you really look at it, like it looks pretty much like it's written in ink, right?
Yeah. Let us know in the comments, guys, if you know.
John A. Kennedy. Like this is Kennedy's probably grandfather, great grandfather. I don't know, or no relation at all. No idea, but I'm gonna have to look into this. So my idea is to basically kind of catalog all of this stuff. There's all stamps and like ripped like pictures and stuff like that, and I think there's photos. There's photos here of this. Grant. That must be Ulysses Grant there and his family. Here's Lincoln and his family. These are all like photos from manuscripts back in the day. This is just a postcard.
Yeah,
from, like I don't know when, but. He just kind of threw a whole bunch of stuff.
That's much more
there.
modern.
Yeah, obviously. But like a lot of this stuff is dated from the 1860s, and then there's a bunch of
like the newspapers always say, but not everything else does. The 1865.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Inquirer.
Yeah. So my first major project with this is, I think what I'm gonna do is, because there's a lot of Civil War Lincoln related stuff, I'm going to try and I'm experienced with portrait making. I'm going to try and do a portrait of Lincoln out of all of these newspapers and photographs and stamps and all this kind of stuff. So I'll do a few like experimental pieces just to get my feet wet.
Yes.
Make sure I know kind of what I'm doing a little bit.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff.
That reminds me of my one friend. She made a jingle dress. She's Cree. Okay. She made a jingle dress out of the Indian Act.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. That stuff's, I love that stuff. So, like, to marry history into something modern, like, I think is just super cool. I don't even know what half the stuff is. I need to go through all of it and kind of document it, because he sent a bunch of stuff.
Right, and he was just kind of like, this to him is just his...
basically worthless. And yeah, he's looking for more... like this is authentic, but authentic, rare, original, just
like important. Like this, this is just a newspaper.
Yeah,
it's important for people today because it's interesting, but there's no significance to it necessarily.
Yeah, exactly.
So. And there might be significance to individuals, but historically, it's just it's just a newspaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So that is going to be my next venture. So I think, as I'm teaching myself how to do all of this stuff and learning the process and figuring out how to do it, that is going to be my like foray into YouTube, like more long form, because I think it's just it'll be an interesting journey for people to follow along.
I think that would be awesome.
So yeah, now it's all about like starting the process and doing that under a different umbrella, kind of, you have several umbrellas, this is my next umbrella.
Yeah. So are you gonna... This is a relationship that's going to continue on for several pieces?
I don't know how long, but yeah, like we have kind of the first idea for a collection, more or less loosely thought of.
Okay.
So basically, we're gonna see how that goes, and he has archives that he's you can come down and see my archives, and if you have an idea for something else, then I'll know exactly where those, if I wanted to do something about like the moon landing, like he probably has a ton of newspapers and materials about that. Or like I'm into music, and I saw in his collection he has stuff from Woodstock when they were like creating the schedule for Woodstock, and they're like, no, maybe like Janis Joplin shouldn't go here, she should go there, and it was like the preliminary thing.
Yeah.
So like using that type of material,
that would be awesome. That would be great.
The sky's the limit. Like this guy has like millions of pieces of history like this, spanning from like the 14th or like the 1400s to today, kind of thing. So,
okay. Is it all American, Canadian stuff? North American?
Mostly all American, just because he's just like, he's an American history buff kind of
okay
guy. Yeah,
so he doesn't have stuff from like the UK.
I don't like he
or maybe he does
here and there, but yeah, it would mostly be American. I've seen some kind of Canadian stuff in here as well, but mostly American. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. He knows you're Canadian, obviously.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We chat like probably every 2, 3, 4 weeks kind of thing, just like kind of coming up with ideas and stuff. So yeah,
I'm excited to see what you make, because that looks very interesting. Are you going to be making a separate social media for that?
I will, yeah.
Yeah?
I think it makes sense to keep that one separate, just because it's an entirely different medium.
Right.
I mean, they're similar in a lot of ways, like collage, mosaic, like they sort of overlap, but yeah, I think this one should just have its own social media thing. So I don't know what it is yet, but I will let you know when I come up with it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure when this video is going to come out, but maybe by then you'll have something.
Maybe, yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you showing me everything, giving me a tour, giving me a demo.
Of course, man. Thanks for coming by.
Give me a tour of your house. I wasn't expecting to do the tour of your house, but it's so dope. So I like it when people have like a nice eclectic taste. You have like, what would you call it? It's a cohesive mix, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can thank my wife mostly for that stuff. She's got the eye.
She's got the eye.
I have some influence, but it's mostly her. So.
Sure. Well, hey, if it works, it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anything else? Should we call it, or?
I think you should say to be continued.
To be continued.
Perfect. That was awesome. Yeah, that actually looks really sick.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm stoked with how it turned out. And this couple is from Detroit too, so they actually sent me some caps from Detroit that are worked in here.
Yeah,
there's a couple Detroit Lions in there as well. So, like when they met, one was from East Detroit, one was from West Detroit. And so there's one, oh geez, where is it now? Well, there's one on this side.
Oh yeah.
And then there's the other one. So East and West.
Oh yeah. Okay, sure, yeah.
So yeah, just little things like that. One was working them in, and then this one's actually really funny. Where did it go? Yeah, this right here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Shock rock, like you. Yeah. Anyway. So.
Oh, I like this one too.
Yeah, that's like some kind of like pop. I can't remember what it is. It's like a Coke kind of alternative. I can't remember what it's called, but
you have another one.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
It's cool to see like up close,
Mm-hmm.
The rose, that one's cool too.
Yeah. There's some cool rose ones in there. There's this like vibrant skull here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. An old wooden ship.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is really cool.
Thanks, man.
People need to get these in their house.
Oh, they are. They are. One at a time, basically. And I'm doing prints now, as we talked about last time.
Yeah.
And that little surprise I was telling you about is yours.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to give you that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Talking about how much you love it, and I just figured, well, I'll just give you this one. So it's on a nice matte paper.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I'll sign it for you if you want.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if
absolutely.
it increases the value or not, but
Oh, it should. Thank you so much,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, of course, man.
I really appreciate that.
I thought you would dig it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, 100%.
So yeah, I tried 3 different types. Like I got this matte paper and then
Yeah.
canvas, and then this is poster paper. And we just used. I called your buddy at what was it, Airclix or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And he's just like, honestly, man, like with this, he's like, it's gonna break my scanner, like
Oh,
or scratch
no.
it or something like that. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Like, I didn't know how it worked. Like if you like set the piece in and
Right.
it like scans above or whatever like that.
Right.
Like I don't know what they look like. So he's just like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. But
Dang, that's too bad. But
anyway,
I mean, they turned out great.
yeah, no, I agree. We yeah, I really like the canvas one too. This one I'm actually gonna donate for a fundraiser charity. So, but yeah, they turned out quite nice. Had to do some test prints though, but yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, man. So.
Well, thank you so much.
What's proper? Like you've signed a bunch of your own prints, I'm sure. So what do you do?
Yeah.
I see people doing penciled.
I just signed down here, and I do it. Pencil for some reason is something that people do. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because it seems temporary, especially
Right. Yeah, that's
especially
what I'm
if you happen to have it, in the sun.
Yeah, it'll fade, right?
Yeah, so I just do on my what I call fingerprints.
Yeah.
I sign with gold.
Okay.
With gold.
Okay.
I forget what the ink is called, but
I was thinking of just using like a fine tip Sharpie or something like that.
yeah, that
Just
should
like-
work too.
yeah.
Sharpie does fade as well.
Does
That
it?
alcohol based does, but
Well, maybe
anything
I should.
that's
Do you
oil
have one of
based
those gold ones?
on me, no.
Like you have one.
I
like,
do,
okay.
yeah.
Maybe I'll sign it. Like if we do another shop talk or something, I can
Sure.
sign it with one of those because I don't have one. But I'll give it to you now. Just as
How
is.
much are you selling your prints for, just so people know?
Or
you don't have that worked out yet?
It depends on the size and the type of paper. But it's all on my website now. So
Okay, perfect.
I literally can't remember what they're going for. It's a pretty good variety.
But less than 10 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely much less. Yeah.
Okay.
It won't break the bank, that's for sure. So yeah. Anyway. It's all yours.
One day, thank you so much. One day you'll get to the point where you can sell your prints for 10 grand too.
Jesus. Yeah. That would be something, man. That would be something. Okay. I'll give you this and then I'll grab the accordion and we can head upstairs and I can play that ditty for you.
Perfect.
If I remember it. Pretty sure it's just 2 chords.
Okay. All right, guys.
Okay, for sure you got everything?
I think so.
Okay.
We're just getting freaking B-roll for this video. And I think we got all of it except for the last bit where he's going to play me his song from Mayhem and the Beat Creeps.
Mayday.
Wait, what did I say?
I think you said Mayhem.
Oh, shit.
That sounds better. We should have been called Mayhem and the Beat Creeps.
All right, I'm going to put this down here. All right, guys, thanks for watching.
Bye, Josh. Don't like the weather in Alberta? Just wait 5 minutes.